conduct is despicable and the conduct is unacceptable, and I think we have to say that pretty clearly.
Nurses, doctors, and patients all watched from the windows of Vancouver General Hospital Wednesday as a sea of protesters marched below, demonstrating against the very measures put in place to save lives. A day later, and they say they are still shaken from the experience and the message it left behind.
Freedom! Freedom!
It was horrible to watch. If I was, not sick, I'm a very angry man usually most of the time at things like that, and I would have gladly stepped in the middle of the crowd and started yelling at people, but unfortunately a cold or a flu could kill me.
We spoke with multiple BC cancer patients forced to walk through the mob of protesters Wednesday to get to their chemotherapy appointments because their volunteer drivers couldn't make it through.
Probably, I'd say at least a couple kilometers away, and my appointment time was imminent, of course, so I elected to walk, thinking that I could make it that far. I can't walk very far. I don't have a lot of energy with the chemotherapy, but I did make it, having to go through the crowds of unvaccinated people with no masks on, and myself being extremely immunocompromised. I was ashamed. I was ashamed of these people doing this.
So the traffic is really bad too, because after chemo, I have some side effects. So it's like a nauseous, dizzy or something. I was suffering in the car, almost threw up.
Healthcare workers saving lives on the front line say what happened Wednesday only made them feel more burned out.
For them to blockade, the institutions that will have to care for those that get sick, it's very discouraging. I mean, it's hard to continue forward for most of us on a good day. It's just a very draining, drawn out pandemic.
Quite disheartened. I was angry. I think I felt the frustration that many frontline healthcare workers feel, that we've been working so hard during this pandemic, even before this pandemic, leaving our lives, our families, going into places where we know COVID is rampant and trying to protect our own families. And then to do that and have these protests take place, on our streets, in our workplaces, it was very disheartening, and I have to say it was disrespectful as well.
What are you doing here today?
Well, I just came to, do the opposite of what we all saw happen here yesterday.
One Vancouverite decided to show hospital workers they are cared about, spending hours cleaning up garbage outside of VGH Thursday afternoon.
Just show my support for the healthcare workers as we kind of enter into the next wave of the pandemic, and while I was out walking around, I just figured I'd pick up some garbage, be a little bit productive, maybe make some of our healthcare workers walk home a little bit nicer.
Provincial Health Minister Adrian Dix called the demonstrations a deliberate act of hostility.
Behavior that's really unacceptable. And, we have freedom in this country, and we have the right to express ourselves. But with that right comes responsibility. And behaving this way and hurting other people this way is not what people should do. And so I condemn it utterly.
In Vancouver, Ashley Burr, City News.